Hello and welcome to From the Boundary, recorded in a loft in Kent. Let's see what these two idiots have to say this week. Before they start though, I must ask you to follow, like and repost all their amazing social medias. Search From the Boundary on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok for updates and clips.
Hello and welcome back. Before we start this week's podcast, we need to discuss our Patreon. Sam, what is our Patreon?
Our Patreon, Tom, is patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast. And on Patreon, it means that you can support us.
If we sound professional, it's because we messed it up the first time. And how much does our Patreon cost, Sam?
Our Patreon is £5 a month. And for that, oh, fucked it up, I'm not restarting. For that, you get these episodes that you're listening to now early. So rather than getting them on a Monday like everyone else, you can get them on a Saturday. You also get a discount on merch, which we haven't started yet. But when it starts, you'll get a discount on merch. There's also going to be extra episodes. We're going to probably aim to do one a month, potentially, probably. And we give you priority when it comes to contacting the podcast.
Excellent. Thanks, Sam.
Any other questions about it?
Not for now.
So, to reiterate, patreon.com/From the Boundary Podcast for just £5 a month, which is less than a pint in most places, isn't it? Basically,
down here it is, yeah.
Basically, buy me and Tom a pint a month, and then we'll be very happy with you. Thank you.
Hello, we're From the Boundary. Sam, I can't help but notice before we start this podcast, there is a cap on the table. Can you tell me about it?
This cap is from Cricket Services. Henry has been nice enough. We've had him on the podcast. He's an OG guest. Probably now our OG sponsor as well. He's been nice enough to give any listener who contacts Quick Fix through any of his social medias, his Instagram, his TikTok, and wants a service done by him, 5% off.
Oh, nice.
And all they have to do to get that is message him, asking for his service, whether it be a back refurb, a rehandle, anything like that. And all you have to say is, or type, however you do it, because I don't understand how sponsorship works yet, but all you have to say is Boundary 5, and you get 5% off everything.
Oh, excellent.
Off the complete total. As we've said, we've had Henry on. He is brilliant. If you need a battery refurbing in Kent, absolutely brilliant. And now, listeners to From the Boundary get 5% off, just in time for Christmas.
Very good Christmas it'll be too.
Yay. We're back. Oh, we're not back. Hang on, what's going on here?
We may or may not be back.
I think. No, we're back.
We are back.
See that? We've gone 2 full interviews, not a technical issue in sight. We can't. Told you the loft is haunted.
I'm going to somewhere in Pluckley on Friday.
That's Pluckley. Isn't that the most haunted village?
Yeah. The pub's supposed to be like one of the most haunted buildings in. So I'm going there.
You can do that on your own.
I'm not doing it on my own. That's the whole point.
Well, no, you're not going to be doing it on your own. You'll have all the ghosts to keep you company.
Yeah, exactly. That's not what I meant when I said I was going with someone, but they will also be there.
You can be watched.
Yeah.
What? Hang on. Why are you going to Pluckley?
For a date. That's how long it's been since, because it's midway where she lives and I live. It's kind of relatively central.
Yeah, there's loads of villages around there. Why don't you go to one that hasn't got ghosts and teachers hanging by there?
Quite a nice pub, and it'll give something to talk about.
How bad was your third date? Well, we started talking about ghosts. Oh, this feels so weird being back in the loft, but it also means that I've not put any of the fucking equipment back as it should be.
It does feel weird being back in the loft.
It does. It's warmer up here, isn't it? It's downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind you, that's not a bad thing at the minute. The weather's been a bit wild.
What was it? We've just got off the back of Storm Bert and it's now Storm Connell.
Connolly, yeah, or something.
I'm going to be really gutted if we get to E and they don't call it Storm Ernie.
Well,
We've just had Storm Bert. We should have Storm Ernie.
Some of the names, just like... and someone was saying to me actually that you should look them up, but I don't want to look them up because it's almost like a pleasant surprise. Like, who the hell thought a really scary storm we're going to call it?
And would you want to see your name?
No,
Storm Tom.
Storm Tom's not that bad though. You can kind of be a little bit.
I don't think I'll get Storm Sam.
Storm Sam sounds alright.
Yeah, but do you reckon they go for these weird? Because Storm Connell. When was the last time you heard anyone? This is from the boundary, by the way. just in case you 2 minutes in, you was wondering what the fuck we were talking about. Like, do you reckon like they do the names on the basis that, like, imagine if yes, finally, I've got a storm named after me. Storm Tom kills 3. All right, maybe I shouldn't have been so excited about that.
Yeah.
Would you want? What would you? Is that Pinnacle? A building?
Yeah.
What do you reckon's higher, a building or a bridge? I mean, a bridge named after.
I thought you meant like vertically.
I'm not asking for fucking tips, mate. Right, I'm not asking for tips. No, but if you was to say, we're going to name this building after you,
yeah,
or we're going to name this bridge after you.
Oh, you'd have a building, surely.
Would you?
Yeah.
There's less bridges though. Someone could knock your building down.
Someone could jump off that bridge that's named after you.
Someone could jump off a building.
Yeah, but then that doesn't feel quite so sinister.
Does it not?
I don't know, it doesn't, no. For me, because people jump off buildings all the time, but jumping off a bridge, kind of jumping off your bridge, it's a bit weird. I know, I guess it kind of...
I suppose it's probably the only reason you go, and why is this bridge named, why is this called Bridge Sam? Well, he's not here.
Oh, God.
You're normally there for the opening of your building, aren't you? You're not there for the opening of your bridge.
And the family were there in attendance.
Yeah, they were there to lay a wreath. Yeah. Well, this has been a fucking morbid start, hasn't it?
Storm sounds quite good though. Like if you get angry, it sounds like, oh, here comes Storm Sam. That's got a bit of a ring to it.
Oh my God! You imagine? I don't. Storm Sam, I don't think's viable. I don't think they should do anything with an S. Storm Sam, Storm Steve. Storm Steve sounds like a fucking Finnish left back.
Yeah,
this is a Storm. That's Dutch. Storm Stevenson.
It sounds like a sort of a nickname for a musician that's turned into a semi-pro footballer. Storm Steve.
No, I think you're thinking of Storm Z.
Yeah, but it's like his real name's
Steve.
But then he goes by on when he's a musician, he goes by Storm Steve.
Is that like if you order Stormzy off Wish?
Yeah,
you get Storm Steve. Oh dear. Well, it's been about. Well, no, we was just doing the math. Last time we was in the loft was.
It's 3 weeks since we last did it.
3 weeks since we last did it because you was off sick last week.
Yeah.
The week before that, I was on holiday.
Yeah.
Which you've not asked how our holiday was. I'm slightly.
Hold on.
And then the time before that was when we had Henry.
Yeah.
Which was probably our best episode.
Yeah.
So far. The week before that, I was working, and that episode never went out because some fucking idiot deleted it before he'd actually edited it. Don't know who did that. We really need to get a producer to take the responsibility away from me. And then the week, it's had 5 weeks.
Yeah,
a lot's happened.
Yeah.
I've been on holiday.
Yeah. How was your holiday?
Hot. Really hot. Fuerteventura, 27 degrees. Landed at midnight. Not Saturday just gone. Saturday before. Landed at quarter to midnight, I think it was. Or did we get home at quarter to midnight? All I know is when we got in the car, it was 1 degree. Oh, and when we left Fuerteventura, it was 27. That was a bit of a shock to the system.
At least it was 1 degree at night, though. Some places you go to, it's still hot at night. You're like,
no, this is when we landed back home.
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, it was lovely out there. I'll tell you what, the Spanish have got it fucking nailed when it comes to aircon. Because I don't know where
they need it more.
But yeah, but their aircon, it's like we walked. Our room, or our apartment, had just been cleaned before we got there, and they'd obviously had every single fucking door open because it walked in and it was like a sauna. And the first thing I did was aircon. Yep, we're putting that on. And then it was like it's a bit cold. So it's really, really fucking cold. So yeah, they've nailed aircon. I did get you a present, but I forgot to bring it up, so it's down in the kitchen.
Oh.
You'll have to remind me to give it to you off pod. And then
that's sweet.
I became an uncle.
Oh yeah, I think that was before you left, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's just before I left. I've just realised we also haven't put the light on.
Was it a boy or a girl?
It was a... Hang on, I'll be able to see it now. Ta-da! We can see us.
That's a different light, isn't it?
No, that's the light that we've used for the last 2 interviews.
Oh, for the light, yeah, the last two, but it's not the one we were using before.
We didn't have one before.
Do we not have one at all?
No! Has it been that long? Get out! We didn't have a light there. Did you not notice that for a lot of the videos, as soon as it went dark, I sort of merged into this? You'll be able to see me now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's just... That'll see the viewings go up, won't it? Yeah, I became an uncle to a little girl.
Oh.
My little boy met her. It's too many already. For the first time properly on Sunday. And... less than impressed. We went out on Saturday with him.
Well, he's probably still young enough. He's like, well, what do I do with it? He's like,
well, this is what I was going to say. On Saturday, we went out and she was asleep for the majority of the time.
Yeah.
Went out for some breakfast. And he's now at the stage where we're trying to get him to sit still. And he's walking. So trying to get him to sit still is just not happening. So he walked around to the pushchair. And like looking in. And then she started to cry. And he like looked at us and was like, guys, it's making a noise. But no, on Sunday she was awake and he was as good as gold, so that was quite nice. And then I got to take my beloved to the dentist today, which was fucking hilarious because she had to have a wisdom tooth out and she was sedated for it. Which, for all intents and purposes, I don't think had fully kicked in while they did it. Because when I picked her up, she was like, I was like, "Are you all right?" Yeah. So the woman's explaining to me, and some of the stuff she's not allowed to do because she's been sedated. Did you know that while after sedation for 24 hours, you're not allowed to sign any legal documents? What do you think she's going to fucking do? But yeah, and then we walked back to the car, or we walked and got in the car, and she was walking absolutely fine. I thought, I've got away with one here. And then I saw her crash into the gate. Just walk straight into it. And I was like, oh, we might be in trouble. And then got in the car. And she looked high as a fucking kite. And as we was driving back from Strood, I was like, are you all right? Yeah. Well. And I think she asked me in grand total of about 6 times, how long was I waiting? So when I went and sat in the waiting room, and it was ridiculous quick. It's like 20 minutes. It probably wasn't even that. It felt like 20 minutes because of the person I was sat next to in the waiting room. But I think it was probably, I'd say 10, 15, so between 10 and 20 minutes. Was you waiting long? About as long as you was in there. About fucking 5 minutes down the road. So yeah, did it go quickly or was you waiting long? I was with you. Like, do you not remember me explaining to you how to sign on the forms? What forms? Okay, well, that sort of answers the question then, doesn't it? I wasn't waiting very long. So yeah, I've had an interesting few weeks. How about you? How's your house? That's not the house.
Not in it. Yeah.
You're still not in?
Hopefully close, but still not in it. So that's just annoying. But...
Oh, I've heard that before.
Yeah.
So,
this is
a serious conversation, and my brain was in the gutter then.
I don't even know where
you went. We're close, but you're not in yet.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Some of us
I couldn't even remember what I said, so I was like, well, I can't really remember. I can't really sort of rate the punchline because I can't remember what I said to
you said it.
So yeah, there's been that. Been quite busy. Generally, I can't really think of anything. Been on a few dates. It's actually gone well. I've got to a 3rd day. It's amazing.
Did you get to take the match ball home with you?
He's not really into sports, so I don't know how we managed to talk, but we found stuff to talk about other than sport. When I was a kid, I literally I could go up to someone and be like, "Do you like sports?" And they'd be like, "No, I'm not really into sports." I'd be like, well, what the hell are we going to talk about then? So,
to be fair, we're now on episode 31 and neither of us know fuck all about cricket and we're still going, so... no, that's good. 3 days. One of them to a fucking ghost town, apparently.
No, yeah. Yeah, so that's Friday.
Or as people are listening, that was last Friday.
Last Friday.
We're recording. Peek behind the curtain. Today's Wednesday. This goes out on Saturday for the Patreons, and then the following Monday.
Yeah. So that's where I went on Friday.
Does this Friday come in? So you can't tell me how that third date went yet.
No.
Really fun to confuse you. I can see the life drain out of your eyes every week we do this, and every week I see the life just drain out of your eyes. Like, huh? Well, can't even talk about our cricket, can we?
No,
Nothing's
we haven't played.
Our net starts soon.
Is it?
Apparently.
There hasn't been a lot of messages at all, really.
No.
So.
It's really good, apart from me messaging Henry going, are you sure I've got another year out of my bat?
You had Mel in last week, so how was that?
It was really good. You've not watched it then?
I watched it, yeah.
It was really good. A lot of stuff that I didn't know was involved in being an umpire, which was quite interesting. Does worry me slightly that she invited me and you to go on a umpiring course, and I feel like that would be somewhere between a clusterfuck and a car crash. But no, it's interesting. It was also interesting to see the bits on like her opinion on the Bairstow thing, which I think aligned with us on that he was a bit of a fucking tit.
Yeah.
But obviously from an umpire's point of view, and it also has painted Ian in a bit of a different light. So next time that he umpires me, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to take it. Bearing in mind he's taller than me, and I'm scared of him because he's bigger than me as well. Finding out that it was him that fell on his ass in the video, you know, the umpire that runs backwards.
Oh yeah.
You've not listened to the whole episode, have you?
No, I've seen bits. I haven't seen the whole episode, but I've seen bits.
Yeah,
of it.
the umpire that runs backwards.
Oh, okay.
And fell over was Ian.
Oh, was it?
So that made me. I don't know how I'm going to be able to take it seriously. You're getting that's your final warning. What are you going to do? Fall over? So I'm slightly worried that might be ruined.
Also, what do you when in cricket does an umpire come up to you and say that's your final warning?
You've played cricket with me long enough to know how much I swear, how close to the line I like to push it, how much I like to just stand about 6 inches.
That's a football thing, isn't it? That's your final warning. No, you don't
You can get warnings. You get warnings for running down the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, batting and bowling you can. I'm not sure about fielding, really.
Do I not bat? Do I not bowl?
Yeah.
I even said Mel gave me a warning indoors last year for a back foot no ball.
Oh, yeah,
Warned me that my leg was my leg.
Leg.
I just swing my fucking leg as a bowl. My foot was getting close to a back foot no ball.
Puts the batsman off quite a bit. Oh dear.
Swinging my leg around, you know.
Sounds like you got one leg and a wooden one.
That was not where my brain. What is wrong with me today? My brain is down to the gutter and everything. Fuck me. I'm slightly worried. I feel like
it didn't for that bit.
What?
It didn't for that bit.
No, it did.
Ah.
Still did. Just swinging my leg around. You never specified which leg, like left, right, or third. This
If you had your third one out, that would definitely put the batsman off.
Depends how cold it was. I know it's bad to laugh at your own joke, but that I creased myself then. Did you see the little? Like, if you'd looked inside my head, then there was that little monkey that was in one of the Toy Story films. Yeah. He was doing a really happy dance. So like, you don't know how fucking good this joke's gonna be. I was well impressed with myself. I feel like we've got a lot of cricket to talk about though. Yeah.
So, but in conclusion, you have a newfound respect for umpires and officials.
I have a newfound respect for umpires and officials. However, that newfound respect may slightly wander when we go back to playing cricket.
I was going to say until about the 1st of June.
And 1st of June?
1st of May.
Yeah, whenever our first game is, it might skew slightly. But...
As in, like, right across.
Slightly. It might skew slightly towards... umpires are fucking idiots. But for now, I have a newfound... And I didn't realise how much they have to do.
Maybe you should just watch that episode before every game. That should be your pre-game routine.
So, you know how we've got certain players that put their headphones in and listen to like Drake and Post Malone while they're...
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's what I should do. I'll listen to that episode. And when she's saying about how she has to go to the gym and do swimming to keep her fitness up, I should be like, yeah, they do work hard. And then the umpire will say something stupid, and I'll be like, "You're fucking idiots."
That would really weird you out, surely, though, if Mel was the umpire. So you're listening to Mel, so it's like you're out for a game. And then Mel umpires, you're like, sure you said that to me before today.
No, what would be worse would be if it's Mel and Ian.
Yeah.
If both of them turned up and I was like, I'd just try and play them off each other. Did you hear what she said about you on our podcast?
Maybe you need to get Ian on just so you can do it both ways.
I feel like, do you think we should maybe this is a reach out to Ian. If you want to come in and defend yourself about falling over, and I'm sure there was an allegation of not being able to handle his drink as well, but
umpires on the piss must be quite funny.
Do you reckon?
I think so.
No, I reckon that's probably like seeing a librarian in the pub.
But do you not think a librarian would, like, if they really went for it, just be like, this is really hilarious? Cause
I don't know. But I do also think that Mel's a bit of an exception to the rule. There's a lot of umpires, and we had the same conversation with Henry, that there's a lot of umpires, bat manufacturers, bat makers, refurbishers, whatever. Probably the same for like ball. People that make balls. Make cricket balls. Get your fucking head out the gutter. There's people like that I imagine if they get drunk, they just talk shop.
Maybe.
And I'd just be like, I just want to come and enjoy myself. I don't want to talk shop. I do that enough with Tom. And then I play cricket, and that's annoying enough.
Yeah, quite a lot of cricket to catch up on. Including...
So we've got the England test starts tonight.
Yeah.
We've got...
No, the England test started on Wednesday. See, I'm catching on.
The England test is probably finished by now if you're listening to this on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
And is ongoing if you're watching on Patreon.
Congratulations to the following players for their...
Yeah, congratulations for their contributions. I've not had anyone... we will get to the rest of the cricket stuff. We've not had anyone message asking about why they've not received their awards yet from our award night.
Oh, that's interesting.
Liam Livingstone's not been in contact.
He's still counting all the money in his bank account.
Probably. Talking of money, nice segue. We had the IPL auction.
Oh, yeah,
That was a fucking good segue. You didn't mean it, but it was good. We've had the demise of Australia.
Yeah.
Which has been fucking hilarious. Have we also had the demise of India? Have we discussed that? Because India fell apart to New Zealand. And then have come back against...
Yeah, I think we discussed that one in the last one.
Yeah. And now Australia are done. I think they might be done. It's good times we're playing them. It's a shame the Ashes aren't this...
No, they're not, are they? They're in the summer.
No, they're the next winter.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
New Zealand. Then it's South
Feels
Africa.
like a really long time since the last Ashes.
Summer of 2022. Last summer.
Although they kind of feel like... I know that they are spaced apart the same amount of time.
No, not. You'll have this winter. So you'll have next winter. So winter 2024. Summer 2026.
Oh, yeah.
Winter 2028. But it's just because there's that 6 months.
Yeah.
So that's 6 months. So it's, in essence, it's 18 months one way and...
30 months.
30 months, yeah. Thank you. Yes, we've had the IPL auction.
So we're in the 30-month one.
Yeah. About halfway through.
About 15 months.
Yeah, 12.
Good maths.
It's this time next year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12 months. We're breaking the walls down. People say that you can't do maths. Proving people wrong. I know what we're doing. So the rise and fall of Australia.
Yeah.
No, well, no. The slow, painful death that is Australia. England doing it in the T20s and the one-dayers in the West Indies. No, in the one-dayers. No, in the T... Where was it? They won the T20s. Got whitewashed in the one-dayers.
Yeah.
Was it that way around? I can't remember. Fuck me. We need to do this more regularly. And then obviously the release of the fixtures for the
For all of them.
For all of them.
Captain Championship, One Day Cup, T20.
They're sticking with the concept for the next year.
The women have they've now got their tier systems, so kind of like in League 2.
Yep, I saw that. and then lost every single player that was any good and went to a tier 1 team. That's good. So, where do we want to start?
At the beginning.
Mate, we've just established that I can't remember whether we won the 1-day series against the West Indies.
Start with England tonight. It's England against New Zealand.
Okay, well, because it's the freshest in the memory.
Yes. Because you said it first.
Okay, go.
Well, it should be a good series.
Thank you, Tom. Fuck me, how do you report on a football match? It was wet. They won. The end. How many words do you have to write for a report?
Well, online it really varies. It's kind of more on the game. If it's 5-4, you can go to like 1,000 words. If it's 0-0.
What's minimum?
So you're talking like 0-0 and really boring. 350, 400?
How? How the fuck do you find 400 words to
'cause there's
describe? The ball was white, and to be honest, that's all I can remember.
Yeah, you do like get in this habit of you sort of write down every half chance as if it's going to be a really, really boring 0-0. Then all of a sudden it's like 2-2, and you're like, well, all those half chances, I'm not going to write them down. I'm not actually going to use it.
Do you actually still write?
No, but you type it out.
What? What do you do with the laptop? I bet you're like, fuck, this right nerd. Oh, there he is again with his laptop here down at Faversham or Ramsgate or wherever you go.
Oh, so you do read my stuff.
But sometimes.
You just exposed yourself.
No, I read it on the basis that Sittingbourne are actually doing all right.
Yeah, they are doing very well this year.
So I do pay half a bit of an attention. And it's more fun than paying attention to Ebbsfleet.
Yeah.
And
They are
playing
playing on Wednesday night and then on Saturday night.
tonight. Recording tonight, yeah. Yeah, they're playing tonight. Did you see their... we will get onto the cricket. Did you see the thing they put out on Facebook X and all that? It was basically... Obviously, some fans... I don't know how many. Some fans made the way all the way up to Fylde at the weekend for 45 minutes before kickoff. It to get postponed. So they put a thing up. It's about 9 o'clock this morning with the weather radar just going, our game's going to be fine. The weather has moved on. Please come. We're desperate for fans.
They're just generally quite desperate at the minute.
Yeah.
We want to talk about 0-0 at half time.
No, we don't. No.
What's the score?
6-0.
6.
0-0 at half.
And they miss a penalty.
Yeah.
12
And do you know what? Do you know what makes it even worse?
But the next week they went up somewhere and couldn't even play.
No. They played about 60 minutes of that 6-0 drubbing against 10 men.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And the player sent off after about 20 minutes after.
Because when you're watching the game, we're doing like live updates from other games. So we're watching like all the live blogs and basically seeing what's happening at the other games we're at. I was like, oh, 0-0 at half time.
Do you know what? I thought 0-0 at half time. That's a really good. That is, if they can keep that up, that's because they've been on a really shit run. They could they can build from that. Because is it Yeovil?
Yeah.
And they Yeovil are fighting promotion, aren't they?
Oh, who did they play?
Yeah.
Solihull Moors.
Solihull Moors, that's it. Up further than Ebbsfleet are not hard, but up the table, fucking 0-0. They can really press on from that. And I don't know what I did. Can't remember what I was doing. I was on holiday, so I must have put my phone in my bag or gone and got a drink or something, and came back and went 3-0. Fuck! What happened there?
Yeah, I basically was like, because I was sort of half looking, it was like 0-0 at half time. That's not bad. Oh, 1-0, that's not good. And then basically started watching the game I was actually watching, and I was like, oh, 4-0, Jesus, what the hell happened? And I think I looked at 4-0 and missed penalty. I was like, well, that missed penalty would have got them back in there. Oh no, that was for Solihull.
Yeah, that was for Solihull Moors as well. Like that could have been I was going to say that could have been a cricket score had they scored that penalty, and there was a lot of other chances missed. But had they scored 7, they would have matched the Ivory Coast last week.
Oh yeah, that's
7.
a good point.
Yep, see? Cricket knowledge.
That was against
Papua New Guinea?
Yeah, it was someone half-ish decent, wasn't it?
I think so. Chasing down 238, got 7. Biggest win margin. Was it the biggest win margin ever?
I can't imagine it's the biggest win margin ever because 280 is not that much.
No, I think it was the biggest win. It's now the lowest ever score.
But yeah, I can imagine it's the lowest ever score.
Which I thought, and you know when they go give you these, I'm sure it was the biggest win margin as well. But the thing that always makes me laugh for that is I looked and was like, it's when I go and like Lionel Messi scored 50 goals in the season. It's the first time to do that since 1982. They literally went, that is the lowest score since the beginning of summer when a team who I can't remember got 10. I was like, So as much as the good teams are now hitting higher scores, the lower teams are doing fucking worse.
Someone will get none at 1 point or one. That'd be very funny.
But what made me laugh was he said the Ivory Coast team, 7 all out, and it was like opening batsman and captain name, because I can't remember it. Top scored with 4. And I thought, if one of your players is getting over half your runs, that means that...
That's true, actually.
So 10 people had to have a share of 3 runs. And I think it was 7. I'm pretty sure it went 4, not in order, but I think it was 4, 1, 1, 1, duck, 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 duck.
That's true, actually. Someone's got a 4, instead of got 4. So it almost makes it worse that you've got 3 between the 10 of you. That is very us.
It is, isn't it? It's very, very...
Although someone gets a bit more than 4, and then he looks even better.
Makes us look even worse, doesn't it? Right, we've scored 101. Right, how many did he get? 100. It's not brilliant. Right, back to England tonight.
So, Bethell's playing.
Jacob Bethell in at 3. Ollie Pope dropping down the order to 6.
To keep,
sorry. Because Jordan Cox, who I'm now going to just call the anti-Clover, like the fucking unluckiest man going, has broken his thumb. And he's going to miss the series. They have called up someone from the Lions tour, which I can't remember who it is.
What, is it another keeper? I don't think it was another keeper, was it?
No, I think it was a batsman. I mean, look, to be honest, they have enough keepers. We discussed this before. They have enough keepers in the squad. Pope, Duckett. Pope and Duckett. You can both keep.
Jack Crawley is tall. Just get him to lie across and...
But
that would be hilarious, actually. I've just thought of that. You have Duckett keeping, but you got Zach Crawley at first.
It's a little one large again. And then Root would be at second slip, so I'd go... first series since Pakistan, which wasn't fantastic.
Ben Stokes has apologised for basically said he put himself before the team, didn't he?
Yeah, with regards to his injury.
Yeah.
Saying, he didn't want to come off the field. He wanted to bowl, and he was getting frustrated as well because he had a go at someone for a dropped catch or something.
Right.
Very Ben Stokes, but like he said, he has come out and apologised. And can we also say the absolute scum of the fucking earth who decided to rob Ben Stokes' house while he's in a different country? You fucking melons.
That's happened to him before, I'm pretty sure, isn't it?
I don't think it was him. I know that they've been done. A lot of footballers get it done. But luckily, his family's okay, and from the sounds of it, they have now caught or arrested some people involved in it. But you silly twats. We're a year out from the Ashes. Is this now? I was going to say do or die for some of these players. Is it? Well, I'm just going to say it. I can't think of another way of saying it. Is it do or die for some of these players?
I don't know,
because we're now getting into that last 12-month stretch where Stokes wants to go to Australia to win the Ashes.
I'd like to think they all want to go to Australia to win the Ashes. I mean? Not going to turn up and someone will be like, "Do you want to win this series?" Nah. We'll see how it goes. I just want a nice time, really.
Just want a suntan. But is this the? They're not going to be taking baggage with them, are they?
No, but then also I just don't really. They don't really ever change the cycle, do they? Even after like a World Cup or after an Ashes, like the last Ashes, they don't really sort of change the cycle. They just sort of stick with who they stick with. So I don't really see it changing that much. Although they're saying that Besto possibly in the. Well, he was in the last Ashes, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
He wasn't in his crease.
And
That was part of the issue.
And Anderson and not Stokes.
And
Broad
retired, didn't he? At the end of it.
Broad retired. Anderson's been
Now retired.
let out to pasture. But I can't see.
But then they've kind of already replaced them, haven't they?
You know what I'm saying is this the time where we spoke about Ollie Pope not having the greatest of Pakistan series off the back of not a brilliant Sri Lanka. Yes, was Sri Lanka, wasn't it? Sri Lanka series. Is it a case of they might not take the baggage with them as much?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think Bethell at 3 is interesting, isn't it?
He's never batted higher than 4.
Yeah.
He has 20 county games to his.
I would imagine they possibly asked Root to go 3, and he's basically said no.
Apparently, the conversation never happened. Apparently, the conversation.
Even Stokes 3.
Well, apparently, the conversation never happened. The conversation was, right, we've lost a keeper. Who can keep? Pope. Pope, you're going to 6.
Yeah.
Who's coming in at 3? And they just didn't want to make it messy, apparently.
Interesting.
I
still think it's one of the ones where you got to be a bit careful with, like, Bazball, where you're sort of you don't want to basically ruin a really good player, because obviously he's had a really good.
He's had a fucking blinding one day in T20 series, hasn't he?
Well, exactly, but he might lose literally all of it if it doesn't go well.
But if I remember rightly, he had a good 100. Yeah. I know you don't count the 100, or we don't count the 100. He had a good 100. I don't think he's had a bad county season.
No, yeah. Did he play Somerset?
Warwickshire.
Oh.
Along with the big tall bastard.
Oh yeah.
Hull.
Yeah. The big tall bastard.
And that's coming from me. I think he's going to fit the. I think he fits the remit though.
Yeah,
and
it's just whether he can adapt to playing 5 days, isn't it? More, it's not can he play Bazball style of cricket. It's more can he adapt to playing 5 days of cricket, or can he be effective in? Can he basically be effective in an hour and a half? Enough for that 5 days of cricket. See what I mean?
Okay.
Like if he's batting for an hour and a half, can he make it an hour and a half? Can he do enough in an hour and a half to justify his place?
Oh, right, I'm with you now. I thought this would become like a timed match or something, and I'd not read that. No, I quite like him. He's a decent fielder. Looks good in the.
England don't really tend to. That's another thing that I get. It's almost like a Bazball thing, I suppose, where they've gone like quite 1 day mode, and it's not really spoken about. But I suppose like they just don't pick bad fielders now, do they? Every fielder's like.
I don't think you get to play for England if you're a bad fielder anyway.
Well, there's a few I can think of in the 21st century, but not so much right now.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But like all the fielders now are just absolute jets.
Yeah, but do you not expect that? It's not like they're asking me or you to go and play for England, is it?
No, I did have a missed call, but I didn't return it. That's a bit of an issue.
That wasn't from England, don't worry, mate. That's probably me seeing if you wanted something from holiday. Yeah, I think. So
what's the order then? So it's
Crawley, Duckett. Duckett? Who's Duckett? I heard it. Crawley, Duckett, Bethell, Root,
Stokes,
Pope.
7 is
playing.
Playing.
I can't remember who the bowlers are.
Wokes? No.
Yeah, I think it might be Wokes.
That's another area where, like, if you're going to have the keeper at 6, you got to decide like what you're doing, because at the minute we've got a load of really good number 8s. Like you got Atkinson as well.
Yep.
You got really good tail enders. Do you want them? But then as soon as you put them at 7, you're like, well, the batting lineup's a bit weak because they're not really a 7. So it's a very tricky juggling act.
Yeah, it's almost needing that an actual all-round. I know that everyone says, "Oh, Chris Wokes is an all-rounder." He is to an extent, and I think he's got 100 to his name, hasn't he? I'm sure he's got a test 100.
Does he? I'm sure he's got 100. I'm not sure he's got a test
I
one.
think it's the test 100. You do sort of think, oh, you need one that can. You need like another Ben Stokes that can go the other side of the keeper, don't you?
Well, not even. Yeah, more like a flint.
No, hang on. Whoa, back. We've already fucked up. We've missed a player. I thought.
Oh, Brooke.
Harry Brooke. So Brooke must be 5.
Stokes 6.
Stokes or
Stokes
Pope.
7.
Pope 6. Stokes 7. 8, 9, 10, 11.
So when you say we need a player like Ben Stokes at 7, we've got
Ben Stokes.
We've got a player like Ben Stokes at 7. He's called Ben Stokes.
All right, fuck off. Do you know what I was thinking? That tail seems massive. To have 5 players, well, like last time it was Ahmed, Leach, Bashir, and fucking Woj. Where the fuck did I? Oh yeah, just does that player that got 300.
Please, Brendan McCullum's the head coach and not us. Just mid of lunch on day 2, we're like, oh bollocks, Joe's not here. We forgot to call him.
I was just going to say, that. Right. Before we get on the plane, we're just going to do a checklist. We'd like to see Zach. Yep. Ben. Yep, there you are. Joe. Did anyone see Joe? Did anyone ring Joe? No? Okay, well. How quickly can we get from Yorkshire to New Zealand?
Imagine having to explain that in a pre-match press conference or something. Like everyone's asking you, so we've seen you warm up and there was no Joe Root. Yeah, that's because he's not here. So what injuries you got? Well, he's not exactly injured. Is he serving some bad? No, he's not bad.
The issue isn't with his passport. The issue is with us not emailing him.
Mind you, I've done that before. Where I've captained the side and turned up with 10. I thought the 2 brothers were turning up, and then the mum and dad turned up with 1 brother. I was like,
"That's not a good sign."
Where's the other one? They're like, "You said you didn't need him." I was like, "No." I said, "I definitely do need him." He was like, "Well, we're here now. What are you gonna do?" Like, well, play with 10 by the looks of it.
I've not had that. I've had a family of 3 drop out.
Oh,
2 days before the game.
Oh, okay.
I had to juggle to get. Basically, I had 10, wanted one of them, was told that the only way that one of them could play was if all 3 of them played, because he needed to, it was the father and 2 sons. They'd all need to play, so I dropped 2 people to get those 3 in, and then 2 days before, on the Friday, they dropped out, and I was like, guys, I didn't need you. Come back, please.
Did they come back?
Yeah, they did. Luckily. Otherwise I was up shit streak because we were playing with about 8.
It's probably too late to call it off as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, by Friday night. For a Sunday. A bit late.
Yeah.
New Zealand look like they're back to full strength. Although, looking at New Zealand's team, they've lost so many bowlers. No. Right, I always get these 2 round the wrong way. Trent Bolt was retired. / Tim Southee is retired. Trent Bolt is retiring after this series. / Tim Southee is retiring after this series because I can't remember which one's which.
Oh.
They've got no Neil Wagner.
Oh.
He's injured.
Henry?
Out the side? I think.
Really?
Or is it Matt Milne? One of them is outside. They're bowling. They're 4-prong, really dangerous.
Wagner's awkward. Wagner's just, especially over 5 days, and against like a baseball style of cricket, he could be a real pain because he's just.
There's a lot of top edges off slow ball.
Yeah, just very like there all the time.
Slower ball up in the air. Good.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. Kane Williamson is back.
He's quite good. Yeah,
he's all right, isn't he? And Tom Latham, he's also back from injury. But New Zealand are coming into this in pretty much full strength.
They don't have a massive. They've always got good bowlers. They don't have a massive depth within their batting, but they've just got 2 or 3 standouts.
Devon Conway, Mitchell Santner. Mitchell Santner.
But they're just like
Kane Williamson. Hang on. The other one, young one. Got a weird name. That's gone. I'll tell you the bowler I think who's dropped for poor form, I think was Lockie Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? I fucking turned up at the 50 over World Cup and just made mincemeat of everyone, and that just doesn't look back since. But really weird name. Not weird as in like, I didn't. That probably came across like I was being racist. But his name is made up of 2 cricket legends' names.
Oh, right.
And it.
Do you want me to Google it?
No, I'm going to do it and get myself in trouble. Get myself cancelled on 31 and out. Not Ashwin. What's his fucking name? Ravindra. Who's named after Ravi Ashwin and what's his first name?
Ravindra.
No. Rich. What's his first name?
I don't know.
What's his surname? I forgot his surname now. Ravindra. Help! Help!
Enjoy the Google
Yes.
it.
Because I can't remember.
We're not having a breakdown.
I feel like I was having a breakdown. Rachin Ravindra,
Right.
which is the name of Sachin Tendulkar
All right.
and someone else.
Ravi Ashwin, you just said.
Yeah, I don't think I meant Ravi Ashwin. Ashwin might not be old enough. The names were merged together to make Rachin Ravindra.
Virat Sehwag? No. Virat Sehwag? No,
Ravinda. Could have been. His name was put together by cricketing legends, and I can't remember. And I've just made a fucking ass of myself for the last 30 seconds.
Anyway, you were trying to point out that they had a bit of batting.
They've got a bit of batting now.
I was interested in they're struggling bowling wise. Like we literally just reeled off. I know you said one of them's retired and one's retiring, but we like bowling wise, we just reeled off about 8. So they're only going to play 4 of them.
Well, one of them's injured.
Yeah.
And he's missing the first test.
Yeah.
One was dropped because of he's out of form.
Yeah.
One has retired. One is retiring.
I still need 4 though.
Yeah.
I haven't mentioned any spinners yet. They've still got
Mitchell Santner.
Right.
And I'm not trying again. The bloke we just described can bowl
Yeah.
as well. And Devon Conway?
Yeah, I feel
Darryl, no. Who's the other one? So it'd be Devon Conway, Tom Latham, Mitchell Santner. Another one. Darryl Mitchell? Phil Mitchell. No, not Phil Mitchell.
No, not Phil Mitchell.
Darryl.
I'd like to see Phil Mitchell bowl, but I don't think it's
I
him.
don't think I would.
He probably bowls like really loopy. Like,
Leg spin.
Yeah.
I reckon it's loopy leg spin, isn't it?
Comes in all aggressive and yeah, just to have some of that. I watched actually. It's a bit off topic, but I watched. It came up on my TikTok.
Where's the change for the last 40 minutes?
Came up on my TikTok last Friday, and I was off. And I thought, well, I've got a few minutes. I watched that over Brett Lee bowling absolute gas at Piers Morgan.
Yes.
But to be fair to him, he stood there.
But then, have you seen the? Brett Lee's been on. Is it Under the Willow or Across the Willow or something?
Right.
He's Australian with Brad Haddin, and he's been doing He's done an interview that, and I keep seeing snippets of it, and him saying about when he had to come out and be night watchman, and Flintoff,
Right.
and he was night watchman. I think it was Langer and who's the other opener? Hayden. One of them went cheap to Flintoff, and this is when Flintoff was in prime.
Yeah.
Could do no wrong. And Ponting went to him, pad up, you're going in as night watchman. And he said the first ball from Flintoff whizzed in front of his eyes and was like, fuck. The second ball took out off stump and Ponting's walking out and he went, thanks for fucking munch.
What, Ponting said that to him? Or?
Said that to Brett Lee as he was walking out, going, thanks for fucking bunch, you're supposed to stay there. So, yeah.
I think generally teams are kind of going away from... Like, if you look at the Nighthawk now, Brett Lee would have been a great Nighthawk.
Yeah.
I think teams are probably going to start going away from Night Watchman. Like in general, even
yeah,
other
but
sides.
Is that part of the fact that they do bat so deep that
it's not really? It's just it's not so much a night watchman. It's more like rotating or
Yeah.
sort of tinker with the order of it.
Like, if you went look at the England team from...
Like having a pinch hitter, that's what I mean.
Yeah, like, if you looked at, like, from the West Indies, you couldn't exactly turn around and go, right, we're going to use Gus Atkinson as a night watchman.
No.
Yeah, why are we going to do that? Well, he's just got 100.
Yeah.
Well, it might be actually half decent to have stick around.
Yeah.
And then, like, the only one I would say would probably be Jack Leach.
Yeah, is Bashir kind of that ilk?
He can kind of bat, but...
No, that's what I mean, because he can't really bat, so you use him as a night watchman.
Mate, yeah, but night watchman needs to be able to
Stay.
as Ricky Ponting found out. They need them to stay there. Whereas Bashir...
Did they not have... Brett Lee didn't tend to be night watchman for Australia.
No, it was normally...
Gillespie.
That's it.
Because he got a double 100, didn't he?
Yeah.
So still here the next day, like, oh, we'll get rid of you early doors, and at the end of play, they're like, we want that Ricky Ponting or that, I was trying to think.
Gilchrist would have been in there.
Michael Clark, yeah.
Yeah,
we
Clark,
want him to come out and bat, not you, for fuck's sake.
But who was it who... Was it Jack Leach who did it against Ireland?
Yeah.
Went in as night watchman and came out with 96
Yeah.
or saying, right, yeah, that'll do. I don't know why you lot moan about this batting line. It's fucking piss easy.
Yeah, that Gilchrist one. But that was against a good side as well, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
don't think it was like... It wasn't like, with all due respect, it wasn't like Bangladesh or Zimbabwe or whatever. It was...
Do you mean Gillespie?
Yeah.
No, Gilchrist is good to hit
Yeah,
100.
Gilchrist.
Yeah.
And Gilchrist played a few IPLs, so shall we segue into...
Fuck me, you're on fire!
I've actually watched Gilchrist in the IPL.
So have I. Was it the Super Kings, wasn't he? No, he wasn't. Kings 11.
Yeah, that was it.
Kings 11 with Chris Gale. And I looked at that and thought, what a fucking opening partnership that would be.
Imagine going out to bowl, it's just like, well, it's only 20 overs. I'm sure how bad could it be? And you're looking like, oh, Chris Gale's down this end. Let's just see who's at the other. Oh, shit. Gilchrist.
Imagine that to just go, let's just say you bowl into Chris Gale and he blocks that first one and he runs one and you go,
Yeah.
rest of my ovaries. Bollocks.
At least it's left hand, I suppose. Small victories and all that.
Oh, yeah, he is, isn't he? Chris Gale's left-handed.
Hmm.
IPL auction. First of these mega auctions.
Yeah, I don't really know what was wrong with the auctions, to be honest.
So it's because of the rule change, which is basically if you don't make yourself available or you pull out, you are no longer don't. I know you was going to fucking giggle.
Because you were thinking it.
It was, but I kept it together.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
You're like Micah Richardson. Breast.
That
She's
was
one of the
hilarious.
funniest clips I've ever seen. But if you pull out of the auction, if you don't make yourself available for the auction, or you pull out between the auction and stop, I can see you out the corner of my eye, between the auction and the first match, for any reason that isn't injury, you are not allowed to play for the next 2 years. Which is why a lot of England players didn't make themselves available, but will not test players made themselves available.
Yeah. I suppose there's less of like that being the payday as well. So it's like...
especially if the IPL are making these rules, but the CPL or the Pakistan League or the Big Bash aren't having those rules. The money you lose playing that or not playing in that, you could make up in another country, couldn't you?
I don't think many of the English players went for a lot, did they? Butler was retained by whoever he was retained by.
Butler was retained. Livingston
Was retained?
sold. No, he went. I think Butler was the only one that was retained. Curran was shipped off, having gone for, was it 2 years ago, the most expensive player? To the Kings 11 Punjab was not retained. Livingston, there's a few, isn't there? Archer wasn't picked up, was he?
No.
Which I'm not overly upset
I
about.
can kind of understand why. I don't really understand why he put himself through, because he's not going to do it. So why would he try and do it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird, especially if he's got aspirations to make it back to the England Test side.
I feel like Billings put himself forward
Brooke-
last year, but maybe
Brooke got picked up.
It wasn't
Or
for a
did
lot
he?
of money. I don't think anyone got.
No, so it's weird, wasn't it? Because last year was the bowlers.
Mm.
there was a lot of money spent on Pat Cummins were the two big. And even the year before was Sam Curran, but this year it's gone back to type, which was Rishabh Pant went for. I think was it the most ever again? I'm sure it was the most ever again, which is amazing considering 14 months ago he was in a bit of a mangled mess. To come back and to go for the most expensive player, very good.
The IPL was unbelievable for like. I know there's like all these franchises around the world, but you don't really. I mean, you get the odd one, but you don't really get like Australia don't have a pool of players now. All of a sudden, through the Big Bash, like they don't have a player for like all formats. Whereas India do. They sort of they get the players that they get through.
I think the case in point to that is Shubman Gill, isn't it? Shubman Gill came through the. Is it States? Is it States? How they call it out there?
No.
States.
Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry.
He's so tired today. Came through as a state team, joined up with the IPL, smashed it in the IPL, and then went and joined the India Test team.
And then went from like T20s pretty quickly to like.
I've got a feeling that he might have missed the one dayers. I think he went T20 straight to Test and then came back to the one dayers. I suppose though, you're saying that's kind of how Jofra Archer did it,
but not with 100.
No. With the IPL and the Big Bash. It was Big Bash, wasn't it, that put him on everyone's radar, really. Jimmy Anderson, aged 42, going unsold, which I thought was weird, because I don't think he was going to go for... He was never going to go for a lot of money. Yeah. And I think he would have been worth someone taking a punt on. But on the other side of that, do you reckon too many people... He's not got the best record in India, is he?
No.
Wicket-wise, he's obviously, I think was it like Pujara is his top victim or something, but over there he's not known for taking risks. It's been a long time since he played T20s.
We could talk about the wickets column if he had gone to the IPL. Instead of people teeing off against him, but
do you reckon he would have just been, if he's not swinging, and I don't mean this with the disrespect to Jimmy Anderson, he's not played.
I don't know, he's smart enough to bowl differently though. He's smart enough to bowl it slower or try something different. Whether he can do it like to that standard, I don't know. But he'd try it. He was a pretty good fielder. I don't know. It's at 42, maybe that's a concern.
I was going to say it might hurt. But from one end of the scale, which is 42 not getting Bolt, did you see that a 13-year-old was signed for 105 grand?
God. Yeah. I think that's possibly teams as well. Like, they'll sign a 13-year-old because... although you're obviously signing only for 1 year, or you maybe sign them for 2.
No, I think you can sign them for longer. Like the likes of MS Dhoni with like 3-year deals.
But really, you're not thinking like long term. So which is kind of why Jimmy Anderson went. Just he was obviously he was going to sign for a 7-year deal or something. But equally, it shows that
just every time he runs out, I fucking hate Ben. I fucking hate Baz. I fucking hate Ben. I fucking hate Baz. I can still do this. It's fucking Fraser McGurk puts one back over his head. Yeah. They might have been right. Yeah, they might have been right.
But that shows that, if they're signing a 13-year-old, that they are thinking like he's going to be like our star. I'd assume it wasn't one of the big guns, was it? It was one of the sort of the middling teams.
No, I don't think it was. I think it was Kings 11.
Was it?
So it might just be because Kings 11's on my brain. Plain red. It's King or Hyderabad.
Yeah.
Sunrise. You got Sunrise, Hyderabad, and Kings 11 playing red.
Yeah.
Unless there's one I've forgotten. Hang on. Wait a bit. Talk amongst yourself. Purple.
It's Jimmy Anderson.
You cunt. I was trying to work out the colours.
You said talk amongst myself.
Yeah, not to me though. Super Kings are yellow. Titans are blue. Mumbai Indians are blue. You could just look it up for me. It's on BBC Sport.
13-year-old IPL.
Yeah, just go to BBC Cricket.
Just don't Google 13.
Don't Google 13-year-olds. That will get.
Oh God. It does come up with 13-year-old something, but it's not IPL.
Do you ever wonder if you're on a list for things that we've searched on this podcast?
Redstone Royals.
Which is what I said, basically.
Mm.
Basically the same as what I said.
Yeah. It wasn't Kings 11, but yeah.
See? There is still a Kings 11.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they're called Kings 11 anymore. I don't think they're called Kings Punjab. I think they've dropped the 11.
Jimmy Anderson strikes me very much, just on him, he strikes me very much like Darren Stevens ilk, where Kent were like, we're going to let you go, so enjoy your retirement. What do you mean you're not retiring?
We're going to give you a big fanfare as your final one. What do you mean you're still playing?
Yeah, so I can imagine Anderson doing it. I'm not sure I can imagine. Well, actually, I don't know. Anderson playing club cricket? I could
Imagine being an opening batsman. Oh my fucking god, that's Jimmy Anderson. Oh my god. Now, what would be scarier? Jimmy Anderson or Jofra Archer? Jofra Archer comes up to your club and he's like, I'm going to open the bowling.
Depends who you are. Some of the club standards are surprisingly good. Like
Ours isn't.
No,
if he turned up to play us,
I mean, like if you're in the Kent League, Premier Division, or Essex League, Premier Division, or something, or Lancashire League. I think, yeah, it's the Lancashire League. So it was like the Lancashire and Cumbria League.
Well, saying that, wasn't Marnus down at Sandwich?
Marnus was down at Sandwich. Yeah, used to. What did he say? He used to before a game on a game day, with the captain at the time, who he lived in a house with, used to do something, like get a coffee or something. He used to walk along the seafront. And he did that as his match preparation. He was just like visualize. He used to, and that's where like he would visualize. You know, like Steve Smith's very sort of constant. He used to visualize. I'm gonna get, and that's the first game that he played. He was like, I'll be quite happy to get 50, and so he went and got 50, I think, and. Then that obviously worked, and that's sort of how he did it. He just kept going.
Imagine being able to do that. Wow, first game of the season, what was you like? I'm going to get a 50, and do you know what? Quite fancy a 5-wicket haul as well.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he bowled a lot then.
Don't know. But what you have just done, you're on fire today. Because Marnus is...
Oh, yeah.
Is he part of the problem? According to BBC Sport yesterday, BBC Sport have absolutely ripped him a fucking new one. Basically saying the downfall of Australia is all his fault.
Yeah.
Bit harsh, but unfortunately for him, they have done the numbers and backed it up, haven't they, a bit?
Yeah, I didn't really... Because I knew that they blew up against India. And then all I just saw was like, well, it was all Abhishek's fault. And I was a bit like, eh.
So, BBC have basically done it on the basis that Labuschagne hasn't really performed now off the back of the 2022 South Africa tour. But then if you look at the numbers, no one has in that top 8. I think the only person whose number goes the opposite way, so they had like a Khawaja was averaging like 68 and he's now averaging like 40 odd. And
is he? Maybe he's.
I don't know whether he actually is, but
no. But what you're saying is he's gone down.
Everyone went down apart from Mitch Marsh, who has gone from. But you've got to remember that Mitch Marsh, prior to the Ashes, hadn't played Test cricket for nearly 2 years.
Yeah.
So his average was going to be low, and then came back to the Test team and smashed England for 100.
Well, I was going to say that Khawaja that's quite interesting because maybe England's just one of the sides he does well against, but he seems to be like it was him and Zach Crawley, wasn't it, in the Ashes?
Yeah, but don't forget South Africa was after the Ashes.
Yeah, I know. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe he just does, but maybe Khawaja generally is quite poor for Australia, but he just seems to do well against England.
But yeah, so everyone, and the other thing I don't. This is no disrespect because of the job you do, but fuck me when journalists have got an agenda, you and half I've got an agenda over.
But you don't really, as a regional one, you don't. But some of the national ones, it's like
Virat Kohli, he's done. He's absolutely done. He shouldn't be in the Test team. He's completely done. Oh, he only got 10. Oh my god, he only got 10. Got 100 not out the second one. Steve Smith, have you seen his fucking average? His average has dropped from like 70 down to about 30. And it's like, excuse me, why are we not talking about this?
Yeah.
Like Marnus's is bad. I think Marnus's has dropped down to something like 23.
God.
He's just, and against India, from what I read, as soon as he walked out to the crease for both innings, it was like a walking wicket. It's like, yeah, you don't look comfortable.
No. It's interesting, like, Because England obviously do.
We are talking about cricket. It's very. I do admire the way how you loosely use the term "interesting" when discussing cricket.
It's interesting. There's quite a lot made of England will just blindly stick with someone.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, obviously, I guess the people that get scapegoated for England, it tends to be Zach Crawley, doesn't it? I'm trying to think of another one that does get scapegoated. Ollie Pope. Probably because he became vice captain too quickly for a lot of people, I suppose. So those
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never been in that situation in my life.
So those two kind of get scapegoated, but then, and I know they're probably better. Yeah, it's probably fair to say Steve Smith and Marnus Labuschagne are probably better players than Zach Crawley and Ollie Pope.
Yeah, yeah. Don't know about Marnus. Steve Smith, different. Steve Smith is definitely better.
I don't know if that was South African, New Zealand, or Australian, but
it was posh. That's what it was.
Yeah, but then that's never really sort of spoken about.
The downfall.
Much. Yeah. Although Labuschagne was a little bit. He was always going to have a dip because his start was really so wild.
Well, they basically had to rejig on the fly because he came in as the concussion sub, didn't he? For
just Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, and then when Steve Smith was cleared to play, it was like this bloke's just got 175 in the second innings.
Yeah.
How do we drop him? And was like, yeah, we're gonna have to do some real jiggery pokery.
Yeah.
But
then he was always going to have. It's like almost. It's a bit longer than that, but it's almost like second season syndrome in football, isn't it? It's like it was inevitable that he wasn't going to be.
He's never going to carry that on, was he?
No.
Is the Australia Open?
What is it? It's Quadra and
McCall.
I don't really know who the other one is. So probably
that is it. McCann.
Well, what I'm saying is, it doesn't really spring out.
But is that's not that is the cursed position, isn't it?
Mm.
David Warner left. Right, we're going to try Steve Smith.
Oh,
that
didn't
fucking work.
Yeah.
We're going to try. Is it Mitch Marsh went up there for a game?
Yeah.
And that was that didn't fucking work. I think the only one out of that top 5 that they didn't try was Marnus, and that was because he was shit out form anyway.
Mm.
And now they've gone to this. I can't remember his name. I'm sure it's McCall.
Yeah.
Macaulay might ring a bell.
Right.
And they've gone, right, we're going to take the England approach. We've got a 23-year-old, not played a lot of cricket, but we like what we've seen about him.
Yeah.
And he got out for 10. And everyone's gone, well, that's just fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Why would Australia do that?
Yeah.
Because it's what England did to Harry Brook. And it's what England did to Gus Atkinson. And look, it fucking works if you give them time.
But to be fair, like their state schools, generally, players just sort of come out of there. I mean, there isn't really a lot of adjusting needed. Their state system,
immaculate, isn't it?
Is very good. So it's surprising that there's no one sort of waiting in the wings in that sense. And the potentially,
but it probably is. But
it's not an opening batsman.
Well, there was talk that they were potentially going to go back to Bancroft.
Oh yeah,
and they said no, which is weird.
How old's he? He must be fairly old. Maybe not a long-term thing.
No, I think he's not. He's young when he got done.
Oh, yeah, he was very young, wasn't he?
Was he not like 21, 22 when he got done? So he must be...
Who was it? It was him...
Warner and Smith.
Was there not a fourth one?
Yeah, the coach. Lehman,
oh, yeah.
Who has had some interesting... Bearing in mind that his team is not flying at the moment. To come out and say Joe Root's not at the level of... No, who did he say? Was it Coley and Smith?
Mm.
2 players that have famously been shit out of form at the moment.
Yeah.
And I like Joe Root just coming back to going, he can say what he wants. Love that, just say what he wants.
Yeah.
Don't care. I've done England.
IPL.
Done the IPL. The rise and fall of Australia.
Yeah. County Championship, though.
You can do this.
Yeah.
I don't want
so it's the County Championship. But basically everything. The fixtures have been released. So you've got for the women, they've got the new tier system.
Which actually, I like your opinion on this because I asked Mel this last week. I like your opinion on this. They've now released tiers 2 and 3.
Yeah, so Kent are going to be in tier 2 or 3.
Yeah. And then Glamorgan and is it Surrey? No, Yorkshire. are the two that are going to join up with Tier 1.
Mm.
Why? Was it 2 months ago that they announced Tier 1 teams? And no one knew what was happening. Like even the counties didn't know whether they were going to get given. It was going to be a Tier 2 and Tier 3. Why did they not just do the announcement altogether?
That doesn't make a lot of sense, does
No.
it?
It's the ECV. What do you expect?
It's just it is like big wigs. What's Roy King called them? Prawn
Prawn
sandwich.
Sandwich Brigade.
Yes.
One of my favourite quotes by him.
So yeah, but I guess I suppose it potentially will go down to a 2-tier thing. Obviously, there was always going to be. Even they must have known there's going to be some backlash to like.
Yeah.
They must have known we're going to go. Some of you are Tier 1, some of you are Tier 2. You must realise that's going to upset some of the Tier 2. Surely they're not that stupid. So yeah, Tier 2 does sort of make sense to have like your Glamorgans and your Yorkshires. And I think what they basically said to Kent is
get promoted.
They basically said we realise you're not a Tier 3 thing, like you're closer to Tier 1 than you are Tier 3. Yeah, obviously.
And there's no. Am I right in thinking there's no promotion or relegation for the first 2 years?
Yeah, American style. Have you seen that on Ted Lasso when they talk about that? Like, well, what happens to all the crap teams at the end of the year? Well, we start again in the summer. It's like, but what happens to them? No, I think they just stay in the same league.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Oh no, it has changed over there now, hasn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you got the MLS, and then there's the.
Well, you can't just ring fence it, can you? That's ridiculous.
Well, it's a bit different in America. It's just fucking huge.
Well,
to get from one side to the other, it's like a day flight.
Yeah. What would be quite cool is if you made the county championship system. If you like had all the club like Premier divisions, that'd be quite cool. If you had like an FA Cup type thing.
What do you mean?
So like they played like a cup competition sort of across the county, and teams potentially like counties could potentially get dropped out of Div 2 into like what are their local Premier Division. So
right, I see a flaw in your plan. So Kent, I was going to say by some miracle, Kent have an absolute fucking shocking season.
Yeah,
and they get dumped out of the championship.
Yeah,
and they have to go and play the top division of the Kent League.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you not see that they're probably going to go straight back? If you're turning up and you go, right, really?
Players would leave. Lots of players would leave. That's the only thing. But it'd be quite, or at least an FA Cup type system where they could play, that would be quite cool.
Yeah, or maybe like the what's it called in football that they do down here? Is it the Kent Cup?
Yeah.
Where you have, which I've never understood. Right, we have this team of 15-year-old boys against a professional fucking League 2 team in the Kent Cup. Oh, and the League 2 team are going to announce when they... Who was it who did it? Maidstone.
Yeah, for the final.
No. Maidstone have just... who... someone... Maidstone commented on something. And... one of the fans, I can't remember, probably I'm going to say Liverpool because it's normally Liverpool fans that say something stupid without and think that football was invented 5 years ago when Virgil van Dijk joined. But said something like, "We've won more titles than you, or more FA Cups, or something. We've played in more FA Cup finals than you've played in first round proper." And the Maidstone admin turned around and went, 16 Kent Cups and counting, and it was like. Not quite the same. Love the enthusiasm. Really do. Go for it. But I'm sure it was a Liverpool. It might have been a Man City fan. And it was like, I don't even know where fucking Kent is.
Yeah.
They probably never... They think Maidstone is over the other side by Legoland.
Yeah. It's quite funny at work. Like, a lot of the papers come out on a Thursday. So you sort of maybe speak to a manager on a Monday. If there's a Kent Cup or a League Cup game on a Tuesday, it's just like on the Saturday, you're like, so looking ahead to the next league game, and they're like, we're going to take it one game at a time. We've got this big League Cup game. So what are you going to do with the squad? Well, we're going to rotate it quite heavily, give everyone a game, as in, like, you're not going to really care about it. So, right, anyway, so completely ignoring that and moving on to what actually people care about, i.e. the League, the FA Cup, the FA Vars.
Well, my favourite one was...
The FA Trophy, Sitting Bull.
Sitting Bull, FA Trophy. My favourite one from what was it, last year? Because you got the Kent Cup and then you got the Kent Senior Cup as well.
Mm.
Yeah? And the Kent Senior Cup, Ebbsfleet put a team out, and it was like, try this day, try this B,
Yeah.
try this. It's like, oh, we're taking it seriously then,
Yeah.
are we? And somehow they still fucking won.
Yeah. But it's because so many sides take it like that. Something we haven't actually mentioned. I can't remember where we were on the pod. We'll talk about the fixtures in a minute. I got scammed. We haven't mentioned that at all.
Oh yeah, I thought that would be on your rant. So.
Oh, are we going to do rants?
You've been on this podcast before, mate. We
Yeah,
did
we
the
did.
usual bollocks at the
I know.
beginning.
But
we talked some cricket and
we
we
kind
do a
of
rant at the end.
went through what we're going to do in chronological
You'll have
order.
the cricket section.
Oh, okay. So
come on, Tom.
Okay.
I feel like you should probably listen. You should have listened back to some episodes on your way over. Just get back into the rhythm of
Right.
it.
So fixtures. So let's do the fixtures. So yeah, county championship fixtures are out.
Tom's just going to do some admin.
So Surrey start and away at Essex is quite an interesting start.
Yeah, that's basically like going Liverpool face Man City.
Yeah, it is pretty much. It's no team have won 4 in a row since Surrey. Surrey did 7 in a row in the 1950s. So they're
Sounds about fucking right, doesn't it?
So they're on course for that. Hampshire start at home to Yorkshire, so that'll be quite a good test early on to see like where
Yorkshire are.
And in theory, I know Yorkshire were in Division 2. Actually, 2023, I think they went down instead of Kent, didn't they? But really,
Yeah, but that was that. And I don't want to sound like I'm making light of this situation, but was that not a lot to do with the?
I don't know. You mean the spinner?
Yeah. And were they not given a points deduction?
I might have been.
Or they were given a whopping great big fine that meant a lot of disruption. Who have Kent got? Where are we going?
Well, yeah, hold on.
Because did Kent not manage to completely fuck up their own announcement?
Oh yes, I did. Yeah.
Just says it all about the county that we know and love. Would you like to explain?
Well, basically, I started writing it, and they'd done text to go with like the schedule, and so I started typing out, and have sort of typed out the full fixtures underneath the story, and then I went back through it, and I was like, no, that doesn't add up to that. And basically, they'd said, I think to be fair, they meant it was a T20s. They meant their first T20 home game at Canterbury was against Surrey. But they said their first game was against Surrey. And it wasn't even like their second, it was like their 4th or 5th. It was like, right, okay.
Good old Kent managing to completely fuck up the only thing they had to do.
So we'll get to Kent in a minute because they're Div 2. So
Yep.
Sussex start away to Warwickshire. So potentially a winnable start. That's a bit. Where did Warwickshire come last year? They're one of the ones that stayed up, weren't they? Worcestershire and Kent went down, so they stayed up. Lancashire start at Lords
Yeah.
against Middlesex. Middlesex feel like they've been in Division 2 for ages.
Yeah, they were.
They are.
They are.
Still there. And Kent start away to Northants, who I think maybe went down the year before Kent.
Maybe, yeah. I can't remember. It's been a long day.
2024 One Day Cup winners Glamorgan start at Neath. Oh, okay, so 2024 One Day Cup winners Glamorgan start at Neath. Who are they playing against? It's obviously an outground.
What?
An outground, so like Beckenham's Kent's outground.
Oh, right, okay. Durham.
Hampshire. But you would never guess that. Like,
The fuck was I supposed to get that?
is Neath the one where they're playing in the Isle of Man, maybe? Wales? Wait, hold on.
Neath.
Oh, so sorry, Neath is...
Glamorgan's outground. I say, it sounds Welsh.
It's Glamorgan's outground. So that was the One Day Cup and County Championship fixtures. I'll see if I can find the T20 plus ones. Kent are away at Gloucestershire, I think, first.
Yeah, I think so. I think you said that.
Nice to get that out of the way early.
Bit of a trek.
Bloody Bristol.
Bloody Bristol. We really need to put that on a t-shirt and sell it.
I'm not sure people will get the reference.
We'll do if they listen.
Yeah.
They listen, they'll understand your hatred towards Bristol.
I don't hate Bristol. It just seems to come up in a lot of things.
He hates Bristol.
God's sake. T20 Blast. BBC 2025 fixtures. Bear with me.
Doobie-doo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are a few double headers. I don't know if you've seen that.
Surrey is a double header as well, isn't it? Surrey
For Kent. But other counties are doing it as well.
Yeah, no, for the first game, is it Surrey and Yorkshire? First game?
Yeah, maybe.
And I think that's a double header.
Glamorgan play 4 double headers.
Whoa, that's because they're reigning champions. It's probably quite easy for them to do that.
No, not for the
T20.
T20.
For the T20, yeah.
Two in Cardiff. They start at Merchant Taylor's School. So that's Middlesex. I don't know, as a player, would you want to play at some of these outgrounds, or
Yes.
would you? I think I probably would. I would imagine some players kind of look down at it though, like, oh, you're playing Middlesex, but you're gonna have to play at Merchant Taylor's School, and they'll be like, oh, it's not Lords. Do you
I
know
don't
what I
know. I reckon some of them outgrounds are probably just as nice as
Yeah. I don't know Merchant Taylor, but I imagine it's probably a private school.
It sounds it, doesn't it? Let's be honest. It's not a public school, is it?
So,
Fucking hell.
I wonder if Henry played there.
We'll have to message him and find out.
Yeah.
So do you want to set up your rant for your...
Oh, yeah.
So, Tom, have you got anything to rant about this week? And
don't.
I'm just going to push the microphone away and just let you go because this is going to be a fucking belter.
So I don't really know what my rant exactly is. But it's just scams.
Your stupidity.
No, it's not about my stupidity. I still don't really know exactly. I know how it happened now, but I don't know exactly what led to it happening, if that makes sense. Basically, I got into work last Monday. It wasn't even 9 o'clock, and I looked at my bank account, and something had come up. John Lewis, £130 something. It was a really specific number, and then my phone.
It's really specific, but I can't remember it.
And then my phone vibrated again, and it was another John Lewis one, exact same number. I was like, no, this isn't good. That's like... But you know, sometimes on a Monday morning, your phone will vibrate like you've paid for something over the weekend, but where banks are shut, it doesn't you don't get the notification.
Who do you bank with that they don't get sent? They shut.
No, but it doesn't the notification doesn't come through on your phone.
Mine does. Mine comes through instantly. I normally know that I've paid for something because my phone tells me before the fucking thing because it's approved.
Well, anyway, so the first one I was kind of like, well, I'm not slightly concerned about that, but it doesn't matter too much. Second one, I was like, no, this is weird.
Hang on, can we just put a pin in it there? £130 goes out your bank account that you haven't spent and you've just uttered the words. Wasn't that bothered about it?
No, because at the time I was at work and I was like, well, I have to look at that because I'm not really sure where.
Have you ever been to John Lewis?
Yes.
Have you ever spent £130 in John Lewis?
We discovered that I've been to John Lewis once and I spent it was like £5 on 2 pairs of socks. So like all those.
You can go to TK Maxx, mate. You get 10 pairs for a £5.
But they're like, all those charges are definitely not us. I was like, right, okay, just because it said it was you. I was like, yeah, that's how it works. Obviously, I knew that, but so the second one went through. I was like, no, this is weird. And then I kind of in a bit of a panic. I was on the phone to NatWest. That can be what my rant's about. NatWest help support. It was hopeless.
Okay, I'm going to let you rant because I'm with NatWest as well, and I think you've been a bit of a twat.
No, so hold on. So it's happened twice now, and then I'm on the phone, and I'm on the phone for so long. Well, the first time I was on the phone for about 20-25 minutes on hold. Meanwhile, it's still happening. The third one goes through, and then it switches to, it was like £94 something, but then it's the same, and so it happened about 5 times.
Basically, someone was trying to get some new bedding and was trying to see where the fucking limit was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then while I was on hold, I eventually sort of, because I was kind of panicking a bit.
I'm panicking.
I had the presence of mind to freeze my card.
There we go.
And only a couple of them went through anyway. I think three of them went through, and I've now got that back. So that was fine in the end. But I spent all that time, and then I basically got on the phone to NatWest, and they were like, "You're through to the debit card support team." I was like, "Right, well that's fine because it's come out on a debit card, but you're reporting a potential
Fraudulent.
yeah." So they said, "So you need to go through to a different team." So don't worry, I'm just going to pass you through. I said, "Right, okay, so but you are going to pass me through. I'm not going to be on hold or anything." He's like, "No, it'll be straight away." Then I was on hold for about 15 minutes. Then got through to someone. And then they said, "We're going to send you through to someone else who's going to take you through. We've discovered what it is, basically." And someone had linked their Apple Pay to my account, and I had a notification way back, which I've now learned. Look through all your notifications. They're really boring, though, aren't they? The notifications and on your financial statements are really boring. It's like, you approved this, you spent this, your latest card pay. So it's not interesting, but I missed one.
So what you're expecting is for it to be all like pink and fluffy, going, this one might be a bit weird.
So we discovered it was that. And then the bloke was like, "Do you remember anything about the day?" I was like, and the day was mid-September, mid-August. I was like, "Well, not really. Like, we're now in November." He's like, "Right, try and remember the day." He asked for some details. Try and remember the day, blah, blah, blah. So I went away, tried to remember the day. Then he came back and he's like, "Do you remember much, really? Anything unusual?" I was like, "Well, no, not really." And he said, "Right, talk me through the day." So I was like, no, I looked back and I was like, "Well, I have looked, and it was a Saturday, and I'm a sports journalist, so I'd have been at a football game." He's like, "No, I don't care about your job. I just want to know about like your financial transactions." So I'm like, "Well, but you just asked me about like to talk you through the day." He's like, "No, but I didn't mean the whole day. I meant just the financial." I was like, "But that's not what you said." He did say,
I got up and I had some Weetabix.
I'm not saying that.
And then Mummy made me a milkshake.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying like he had asked me to physically like talk him through what I'd done on that day.
To be fair, it probably makes sense because if you turn around and went, I'm saying your point makes sense. If you turn around and went, "Oh, I'm a sports journalist and I was watching Sitting Bull versus Deal."
I was watching Ebbsfleet that day.
You poor fuck. I'm watching.
It got worse.
I'm watching Ebbsfleet, and they turned around and went, "Yeah, okay, well, we can see that you bought a fucking Twix in this shop."
Yeah, because I tend to go to. I don't buy food because otherwise I'd be buying like a burger every Saturday. I tend to go to a shop.
The size of a small village.
I go to a shop like before and buy like a meal deal, and then I'll take that into football. So I possibly did that. Possibly would have done that.
You'd think they'd be able to flag it there.
Yeah.
But even so, how much do you actually spend on through the week? Yeah, I'm fucking terrible because obviously where I work, it's like, drink in the morning, get a coffee in the morning, then it'll be some lunch, and then it'll be drink, and then it'll be fucking vape if my vape dies or something like that. On a Saturday, even if I go out, it's normally 2 payments. Surely they'd be able to go and go, right, it's probably that one that you got fucking done.
So anyway, I had to go off and basically ring up John Lewis because these payments were saying they were John Lewis ones, which obviously weren't. But I had to confirm with John Lewis that it wasn't money coming out of an account I had with them.
Oh yeah, that credit card account with John Lewis, I forgot I had.
Or that they couldn't see the transactions. And anyway, so I rang them up and straight away got through to one lady. I was explaining the situation. She went, "This isn't really my area. I will look for you. I can see this." I was like, "Right, great. I think that just means that it's just a scam and it's not from John Lewis. It's not. It's someone pretending to be you. It's not you." She's like, "No, that's fine. Do you want to speak to someone else for confirmation, or are you happy with that?" I said, "Well, no. Do you mind putting me through to whoever the person is?" She said, "No, yeah, of course you can do that." So she gave me an email address, phone number, rang them straight through, no holding. And then NatWest had said to me to ring John Lewis and then come back to them. I was back on hold to NatWest for 45 minutes.
Oh.
I was just like, "I'm just returning the call that you asked me to make. You said call back on this number." And then I find what actually happened was about 10 minutes in, I got through to someone and they went, "No, it's the wrong area. I'm going to put you through." "Are you going to put me right through?" "Yes." "Is there going to be any hold?" "Well, no, not really much of a hold. Maybe I don't know, not a lot at all. No, there shouldn't be a hold." And then 35 minutes later, I was like, Jesus Christ. And then basically got through to him and he was like, right, what did you find out? And I was like, well, I just told him blah, 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 blah. Yeah, and then went about, well, because I'd raised it. They also said to me, I said something on the phone like, I've been scammed. And they were like, are you sure you mean you've been scammed? Do you not mean... And they said, like, basically...
Fraudulent activity.
Yeah, are you sure you don't mean... And
Because,
I was like,
because scammed means that you've agreed to something and someone's... So let's say you went, I've been scammed in, I paid £500 for someone to come and wash my windows.
Yeah.
Don't know why it'd be that expensive. And they haven't come and washed the windows, but they've taken the money. Whereas fraudulent activity means it wasn't you that did it.
Right. So it's fraudulent.
It's fraudulent activity.
Okay. Well, I was like, well, money's coming out. Or has been coming
Money's
out.
coming out, it's not me!
Yeah. So just deal with it. Like, I don't know, basically.
You have such a way with words, don't you?
So they,
Money out, not me.
So they were
not helpful.
No, but John Lewis were very good, and I got the money back in the end. In the end, what was interesting was like all these payments are coming through, like saying they've done them. By the time I'd frozen the card, and they were like, I looked back when I was on hold the second time forever. I looked, and I think there were 5 or 6 payments that had come up on my phone as notifications. I looked, and there was only 3.
You might find...
But I think where I froze the card, he just couldn't, like, complete it.
That, and you might find that some of them were declining.
Maybe.
I had it... Probably shouldn't say it. I don't know what the statute of limitations is on a Greggs. But I'm going to go for it. This is, going back about... This is before I went on holiday. I stopped at Greggs to get lunch. And funny enough, I texted Rosie and was like, I'm fucking starving today. I'm just going to get some Greggs. Got some Greggs. No, and it was one of them where I went, you know when you just go, beep.
Yeah.
And walked out. Yeah, there you go. She's giving me the food and I walked out. Once I walked back to the car, got in the car and I started driving. I get the same as you notifications from NatWest. And I was like, I'm sure that says that declined. Fuck! Yeah, sure enough, £14 in Greggs declined, and I was like,
£14?
Yeah, it's for a few people, it wasn't just for me.
Oh, it's Greggs.
Yeah, £14 in Greggs declined. Good. I've basically just stolen all of our lunch. I will pay that back, Greggs, if you want it, but please don't. It wasn't my fault. No one stopped me.
I had one on Sunday. Is this my fault or is it their fault?
Is this going to be one of these? Am I the arsehole?
Kind of.
Okay.
Went and saw my nan and granddad, and they live by a petrol station. So I went and filled up at the petrol station, and where they're getting a little bit older, basically I was just sort of thought, well, I need my lunch, but I'm not going to turn up there and be like, can I have lunch, please? So I bought lunch there, and I'm pretty sure. So I filled up, went in the shop, bought my lunch. I'm sure he just charged me for the diesel. But I looked at him after he'd done it because I thought he was doing it in 2 stages, as in he was going to give me 2 separate receipts.
No, I don't.
I paid £60. I might have nicked something that was worth about £2.50, but I've paid him the £60.
I don't know. Is it?
And also, I didn't exactly run out afterwards. It was.
Well,
I stood there.
is it not? And is it also not a case of it's not stealing if you had the means to pay anyway?
Yeah.
So if you had the means to pay,
yeah, well,
and they've not stopped you,
yeah,
it's a bit like the Greggs. I had the means to pay,
yeah,
but you didn't stop me telling me that the thing declined. I know it did decline because I went to the petrol station to get a drink afterwards, and that fucking beep, and the bloke went, no, it didn't go through. Oh, okay, damn it, fuck it.
I've had a few where I work on the Medway City estate, and I'm going into work and go to co-op, and they've got like the microphones. I've had a few where I go beep, and then I go talk to the car, and she's like, "Oh, excuse me, wait, it didn't go through, sir, hold on." But it's like, by the time I'm getting into work, sometimes it's before 8 o'clock in the morning, and she's just like there on the. It's like it's a lot of brain power to be like,
pump number 3, fucking come back.
Yeah, I never filled up. This is really odd. It's a petrol station, that co-op. I've never filled up at that co-op on my way to work. I just always have diesel in my car. I sometimes get it on the way back.
Is this like one of those Matrix paradoxes?
Maybe.
I don't mean Matrix paradox. What do I mean?
I don't. Yeah, I just.
Maybe it's not really a petrol station. Maybe it's a
yeah.
figment of your imagination. There we go.
Yeah, I'll try that next time the cars are in the way. Just drive through them all. I thought they were moving
Damn it!
That can actually be a rant as well.
Fuck me, mate.
But I go there. So I try. There's 3 parking bays. But it's like you have to go through the petrol bit to get to them. And then there's the overflow. So what I tend to do is I will go into... I'll just basically aim for the overflow because sometimes you can't. You have to wait for people to come back from the petrol pump. So I aim for the overflow. It's the fucking lorries that are parked... Like today, they've blocked it completely to go into the shop. But they've blocked the overflow parking spaces because so I had to wait for him to come back and then move. But why can't he just park... They're probably too big for the overflow parking spaces. I was just going to say that. But just don't park in the way.
Are you okay, hon?
No, I'm annoyed.
Okay. Do you want to say goodbye to everyone and do the...
Are you not going to have a rant?
I've got a rant. I'm calm, collected, and... I've been on holiday, mate. I'm fine. I'm calm, collected, and...
It's cool, calm and collected.
Yeah.
Right.
Which means next week I'm going to be a fucking nightmare. Like the whole episode will just be a rant.
We are on social media, and if you don't know where it is by now, well, that's your own problem. No, I'm joking.
Oh, good. All those new listeners we just got from having guests. If you don't know where we are, fuck you. Thank you.
It was obviously a joke. Please come back.
It's too late now.
That's one of those jokes that doesn't land, and as everyone's leaving, you're like, no, wait, it's just a joke. Please come back. And didn't mean it. Have you ever done one of those jokes?
Yes. What a stupid question. Yes.
Don't get the cops involved. That's not necessary.
I've never done one of them jokes.
Neither have I. That's just what came to my head. That was quite funny. So we are on
Facebook.
We're on. I was going to start then, and you went in a different place, and you threw me. We are on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are from the Boundary. We have an email address, which is fromtheboundarypod@gmail.com. We also have a Patreon, so please subscribe. And that way I can keep ranting and getting paid to rant. Because at the minute I'm ranting and I'm not getting enough money for it.
Am I allowed to talk now, or are you still... Am I allowed to talk?
Did I forget any of the social medias?
No, I think you got them all.
It's just because you were going to say one, but I had it in my head as an order. And
you're so autistic. I think that's why we get on so well. Me and you are both so autistic. Yeah, Patreon, From the Boundary podcast.
Oh, yeah, so if you're a patron, you get this episode on Saturday. If you're not a patron, you'll have to wait till Monday.
Also, discount on merch. Bloody Bristol tops. Potentially coming soon. The specials, which are coming, but are taking a little bit longer to organise than...
Was that supposed to be this week or now?
That was supposed to be last week.
Oh, was it?
There's a little bit more logistics in it. So the specials are coming.
I was hoping to be in
The specials are coming.
I was hoping to be in a flat by then, but...
Yeah. The specials are on the way, but the logistics behind them are taking a little bit longer than we thought. Other than that, I think we're done. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. I've just had an email, and I get very random ones. Jamie Overton, exclusive. Wonder if you'd be interested in this. Jamie Overton on England return and horse racing ambitions.
Why are you... I don't know him. I didn't send you the fucking email, did I? This is an exclusive.
Yeah.
It's going to come out on Monday, so it won't be an exclusive by the time you...
Oh, yeah, that's true. He has shares in Brentford Hope, who is bidding for Grade 1 glory, or would have been bidding for Grade 1 glory at Newcastle this weekend.
So see how Brentford Hope got on and celebrate with Jamie Overton. You done?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Fuck me, that was a painful end to go. We'll get back into the swing of this soon, and then one of us will be away and sick, and then it will all go to
Well, I'm
shit
hoping
again.
to be moving into a house, but yeah, we'll see.
Bye, Felicia.